Hey guys, Cameron with CBM Reviews here, and we are here at Alamo City Comic Con with the one and only Jim Cummings.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for inviting me out to play.
So, are you enjoying the con so far?
So far, so good. I ran into a guy with an incredibly cool Darkwing Duck shirt today, too. Da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
He's keeping it dangerous.
Speaking of keeping it dangerous, the new season of Ducktales just started, I think, last week. I don't know.
Who is this rude weasel?
I don't know.
Be quiet up there. Megavolt, I know it.
It's got to be. Dan, it's you, Dan. Speaking of Darkwing Duck, we have seen him pop up a couple of times in Ducktales. So, are we going to see some more Darkwing? Maybe a flashback, or is he going to make a resurgence?
Actually, that was a Darkwing show, and Ducktales popped up around it.
Okay.
A lot of people make that mistake. No, I have no idea.
He has no idea. Okay.
But I'll be there if they need me.
So whenever they do finally pitch a new Darkwing Duck show, how quick are you going to be into?
Well, they'll have to call me, and then I'll be there. I'll be dangerous. Trust me.
Speaking of other characters that you've done, and Darkwing was one of those characters that you were the first one and pretty much the only one to do that voice. But you've actually been the curator of other characters. Big Pete, you've also been the takeover of Pooh and Tigger. You took over for Paul Winchell and Sterling Holloway. So how has it felt to actually be so loved for these characters that in a way you kind of adopted?
Well, you know, it's beautiful because when I started, there were just those 2 or 3 Winnie the Pooh shorts in the 60s, and they weren't around for, I don't know, 25 years after they were around, so they weren't quite as, I don't know, as big. You know, obviously at this point, I've been doing it for 31 years and all the different shows and movies and everything, so it's an infinitely bigger franchise now by virtue of that. But at the time, I didn't know that it was going to be so long running or so, you know, that it would be such an institution. But I'm grateful. And you know, the first thing you want to do when you're taking over a standard character is, an established character, is you want to be true to the character, vocally and spiritually, emotionally, and then you add your own juice here and there, and you know, bit by bit, 31 years later, here we are. So it's a beautiful thing.
Well, speaking about Pooh and Tigger, you actually got the opportunity to voice these characters in Christopher Robin, which came out this year in theaters. So was it like riding a bike when doing these CGI characters?
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. You know, it's the same discipline. There was a little less. It was more subdued. You know, there were no waterfalls that they were falling off of, or you know, they didn't battle the Martian zombie space weirdos.
No heffalumps and woozles to speak of.
Well, maybe one heffalump. Maybe, could be. But if you haven't seen it, you'll just have to, either go to the theater or buy the Blu-ray.
I believe it's coming out digital very soon.
Buy a ton of Blu-rays.
It was actually surprising because as they were announcing the cast, of course, you were announced as the voice of Pooh, and Alan Tudyk was announced as the voice of Tigger. And then
I didn't think so. I think it was Chris O'Dowd.
It was Chris O'Dowd?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you're right. It was Chris O'Dowd. See,
yeah.
I'm coming in with misinformation. Shame on me.
But then, hey, Alan Tudyk, what are we gonna do with him?
But,
sorry, buddy.
But how was it whenever you found out that you were actually going to be cast as the voice of Tigger? And I know there were a lot of people that were excited, myself included.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess what happened was, you know, Chris is great. He's an amazing actor. I mean, I'm a fan. You know, I didn't hear it, but I guess it just was a different sound and jarring. You know, and I think it was probably just too late in the game to completely renovate such a established character.
Lastly, and this has nothing to do with anything new or current, one of my favorite characters that you voiced, and it's actually so obscure that I don't think it's anywhere on the table, Mr. Bumpy. from Bump in the
Mr.
Night.
Bump, he's one of my favorites.
I love.
He's an unsung hero.
He is an unsung hero. I love the fact that you actually got to this character. It just seems like he's unhinged, but in a very sincere way.
Yes.
Like there's nothing sinister or evil about him. He's just mischievous. And then of course you got to work with Rob Paulson as Mr.
Rob is awesome, and Gail Mathias, absolutely. Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows. I think it didn't get the acclaim it deserved. We have another season in the can, and I guess it'll never see the light of day. But stay bumpy out there, everybody.
Catching me off guard with this. So thank you very much for this interview. If you guys want to meet Jim Cummings, he's going to be at Alamo City Comic Con all weekend. That's the 26th through the 28th.
Yes.
He would love to see your smiling faces here. He'd love to tell you to get dangerous.
I would actually, yeah.
And if you don't have the opportunity to come out there, you can hear Jim Cummings' voice as Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Christopher Robin, which is going to be coming out in DVD and Blu-ray. You can also catch it on any streaming service that you use. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Cummings.
Stay dangerous.
Good job. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Dare. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the lone roller skate at the base of villainy staircase. I am Darkwing Duck. Playtime's over. And I gotta get a shorter intro.